All right, hi everybody. We're going to look at another example of factoring here. So I've got 4x cubed minus x squared minus 18x. Okay, so it's a trinomial, but it doesn't have quite the same pattern that I usually like to see in binomials. Trinomials. What I like to see is the quadratic term, the linear term, and then the constant, right? And then you can break that up or kind of some variation on that. So I look at this and think, can't really do that. But then I look and just realize, oh my gosh, there's an x common to every term here. So, and that's really what I should be looking for first. I should be looking for a common factor. Now, when it comes to the coefficients, I've got 4, -1, and -18. Okay, well, there's nothing really common to all three of those. But again, there is a common factor of x. And when I divide that out of each term, I'm going to be left with 4x squared in the first term, -x in the second term, and -18 in that third term. And so now I've got this linear factor, that x, multiplied by this quadratic. But I'm pretty comfortable with quadratics, so I'm hoping that I can factor that one down here. And I typically like to use guess and check here. So what I would do here is I would take that 4x squared. I'm going to break that down. And I've got a couple ways to break 4 down, but I'm going to try 2x and 2x first. And so now I got to figure out how am I going to break apart 18. Okay, well, 18 could be, well, okay, let's try this. It could be 1 and 18 or 18 and 1. But the problem with that is 18's got a factor of 2 in it. So no matter where I put the 18, I'm going to end up with a common factor of 2. But the original quadratic didn't have that. So that's actually not a good guess. Okay, let's try 2 and 9. Well, okay, immediately I run into that same problem. Whether I put the 2 and 9 or 9 and 2, there's that common factor of 2. So that's no good. And then I try 3 and 6. And again, I run into that problem with the 6 and the 2. No matter where I put that 6, I'm going to introduce a common factor. Now, all that to say is that if I can exhaust all of those options for the 18 and nothing works, it's probably because what I did initially with that 4x squared was incorrect. So let's take that and make that 4x and x, because that's really the only other way I can deal with that. And now I'm going to look at my factors of 18. And I would look at like 1 and 18 or 18 and 1, and it looks like neither one of those combinations, no matter how I multiply those out here, I'm not going to be able to add those middle terms there to get that -1 popping out. So those aren't very good. Now let's try something different. Let's try the 9 and the 2 and the 9, the 9 and the 2. If I go 2 and 9, I've introduced a common factor of 2 here, which is no good. I don't like that. So I'll put the 9 here and the 2 here. And when I check that out here, notice that I'm going to get 8x with that outer product and 9x with this inner product. And I can get a -1 as long as the 8x is positive and the 9x is negative. So if I put a negative there and a positive there, that actually works. And so there we go. There's how I would factor that trinomial down.